What's up, guys? My name is Forrest Pledger, and I run my own private soccer training company in Phoenix, Arizona. Today, I'm just going to be sharing my first month's progress with my company because it's honestly going pretty well. I honestly did not prepare that much for this video, so it might not be too good. And this is going to be, like I said, my first video ever. So we'll see how this goes. My goal is just to kind of share my progress. So in the future, when I have grown into a pretty big company, because I have a lot of big goals, I can look back and say, you know what, I started somewhere, and I have grown it ever since. And for anybody else that might be trying to start their own company, I'm just going to kind of show you the steps I've taken to get the clients that I have and where I plan on going in the future. So, yeah, just to get kind of started with my background, I grew up in Arkansas, and I ran a private training company there for like 2 years. So I have a little bit of experience before I started here. So yeah, when I very first started, I decided that, okay, where am I going to go? How am I going to get clients, right? Because I have to get clients somehow. So I thought to myself, okay, I don't know anybody as well because I had transferred here for college. I'm a sophomore in college, and I transferred out of Arkansas, University of Arkansas. After my freshman year, I transferred here my sophomore year. How am I going to get clients, right? There's a lot of different ways. You can do flyers. If you don't know anybody, right? If you know people in your area, it makes it so much easier. It was so much easier to grow a little small training company in Arkansas, but here I'm actually planning on growing a big company and making it my career possibly. So today is March 8th, and I'm just going to be I had my first training on uh, like March 26th. I mean, on January 26th. So I've been training for about a month. But and about the beginning of January, I decided that I was going to go on this journey, and I was like, okay, I got to get clients somehow. Like I said, you can do flyers. You can do Facebook ads to get clients. You can go out to random parks and all of that. Tons of different ways to get clients. What I did is very first, I decided I was going on Facebook ads, right? So when you run a Facebook ad, you have to target a specific area, and then you have to tell them when they click on their ad, say like free training session in Phoenix, whatever, and you got to have a call to action. So where they're going to go from that, they can either text me or they can maybe go to a website. So I did a click here now, and I kind of created a website. I did it off of Squarespace. I'll kind of share my screen with y'all really quickly. So if we go here, yeah, I just kind of created a quick little website off of Squarespace. Really easy. Elevate your game with tailored soccer training in Phoenix, whatever. If you scroll down, I've got some reviews, and these are actually real reviews. So I've got a little bit of an advantage if you're starting off from scratch. But honestly, probably barely anybody that I train has actually even seen these, right? I just did it because I wanted to. Yeah, but if you click here, you can click here to get a free session. It takes you to a little form you can fill out, whatever. Yeah, so I ran an ad, and I ran this ad for probably $5 a day for only a week, right? I got like tons of little clicks and random leads, but only like 2 people converted. So I had two clients, 2 people that I was going to train for free, right? And if I show you my calendar really quickly, okay, so this is literally the very beginning of this business. I just want to let y'all know my very first training session was on January uh, January 26th, and this was just a free session. It was a little small group, right? And then I had my next training session. These are the two people, Daniel and Steven. Daniel brought a friend. Steven was just another one of the other kid that said he wanted to train, right? So all of this was free, right? So got that off of Facebook ads. Then I stopped running my Facebook ads. I wanted to start doing some referrals, and I can kind of show you literally my very first training session. I go to the bottom of my Instagram because I've been posting on Instagram to get some clients. Right here, January 26th. What day was that? January 26th. First training session. Okay, we put up the number 1 right here. This is my first training session. Okay, so then let me just show my pricing. Let's talk about my pricing. So don't worry about that for now. I just wrote that down so I wouldn't forget it. But I started out because I wanted to be competitive. A lot of the other companies here are way more expensive, but I'm just going to be completely transparent. $60 for a one-on-one, right? And then like $35 for a group of 2, and then so on. I actually think I have it right here. So then I decided that, okay, when parents reach out to me, I need to have some type of PDF. So I kind of created this simple little Notion page. I'll show y'all. Pledger Soccer Training, really ChatGPT mission. It does follow with my values, obviously, right? Location. I don't have a location. So when I would run my ads, it would just be like towards in the Phoenix area. So I'd make sure that the parents weren't too far from me. But then I literally researched public parks, and you can rent a field for $6 an hour. Okay. So that's what I did. Depends on uh, depends on where you are, where you live, right? I just want to let you know this is so easy. Anybody can do this, and I just want to let you know I'm going big places with my training company. I want to get to the point where I'm taking kids to college, taking kids to become professionals because that's my passion, right? When I was growing up, I didn't necessarily have private coaches around in my area because I grew up in a smaller town than Phoenix. But I know that I wanted to be the absolute best, and I know that if I had someone like me that knew a lot more and could help me, I wish I could have had that. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm giving back, and I'm going to try to help as many kids get as far as they possibly can with training. So let's just look at my pricing. It's pretty simple. It's very competitive too. When I mean competitive, I'm like other people's pricing is way more expensive. So if we're looking here, like yeah, one-on-one 60. These are just 1 hour and 80 minutes. I just the 80 minutes nobody really does, mainly just 1 hour, but yeah, kind of goes down. And then I did this little 10 one-on-one 1 hour training sessions, and then if you pay for 9 sessions, you get the 10th free. So it would be 600, but instead you pay 540 to get 10 training sessions, right? So yeah, and then it's simple Venmo me, and I have a little Google form that people fill out so I can know a little bit about them. It's just like name, birthday, whatever, how long you've been playing soccer, areas you like to improve, strengths, whatever, social media account, right? Simple stuff, simple stuff. Um, but yeah, uh, then after that, yeah, just kind of started growing. If you look at my schedule, it kind of got some kids, a lot of free, not making much money, not too much, and then it kind of grows. And then if I want to let just numbers real quick, I have trained for in total of 10 kids. Now, only like 4 of those are one-on-ones, like consistent with me. A lot of them are just like parents that would, just invite another kid, one of their friends or whatever. But in total, the month of February, okay, not including March, because I'm going to start tracking how much money I make. The month of February, I made $780, and that is like exactly how much money I actually made in revenue, okay? Now, I could have made more if it wasn't for all the free training sessions I had to give each kid for the first session, because I give every kid, if it's a group or a one-on-one, their first training session with me is completely free, right? So first month, $780, not that much. It's hard. Only making $780 a month. We definitely have big goals moving forward. But let's just talk about like what I've learned. Okay, one of the biggest things I could tell somebody starting out would be when you meet somebody or like one of your clients, when you're about to start, talk to their parents so much. Don't just create a relationship with the kid. Create a relationship with the parent, because if you create a relationship with the parent, what that's going to do is that's going to get the other parents. The kid is not necessarily going to be the one referring you, but the parent is. So if you create a good relationship with the parent and talk to them, talk about how their kid is doing, get a good relationship, they're going to help you in so many ways. And this is honestly what I think one of my biggest strengths is, and what I've realized that has helped me grow so much is I've used the parents, because a lot of these parents also have a lot of money, right? And they're smart. They're smart with business, okay? And a lot of times these trainers will act like they know exactly how to run their business and they don't want to ask for any help. But I'm like, no, a lot of these parents are way smarter than me, know way more about business than me. So what am I going to do when I talk to these parents? I'm literally telling them, hey, I just started in Phoenix. I don't know that much. I just started. I'm open to any help that you can offer me, because I'm sure that you know a lot more about business. And just what are your recommendations? Okay, and they've been helping me. I've got this one parent that genuinely I think that could in the future possibly invest in my business, because she does investing on her own, but she's just kind of helping me. And why would I not take as much advice from these parents as possible? And it's also like, I mean, I literally ask every parent, does this sound fair? What would you suggest I do for this? Where are good places to train? All this. I don't need to act like I'm a professional. I don't need to act like I don't go into the training sessions acting like I know absolutely. Soccer wise, yes, but I'm talking business side right now, because if you act like you just know everything, then you're not going to get anything. But I'm like, okay, just because the parent gives me advice, it doesn't mean that I have to take it and actually do exactly what they say. You know what I mean? You take some advice and you use it. You don't use other advice, right? You got to kind of weed through, and you got to also understand that these parents could be biased. But at the end of the day, they're going to help you out, and they've helped me out tremendously, right? So let's talk about some goals for the future. I've got one of my parents literally has me told me that I would be good with speed and agility. So I was like, okay, awesome. I'm going to start some speed and agility training, right? So what did I do? I created a speed and agility training ad, right? This is going to be for March 20th, only $10. Okay, but what if this kind of blows up, right? And all this stuff right here, all of my comments on social media utilize Chat GPT so much. Oh my god, oh my goodness, literally utilize it. Yeah, so we'll see how this goes. My goals, I'm trying to really grow my speed and agility training as well as my soccer training, get it really consistent, get a lot of people on my package deals where they're paying me a lot of money up front, so where they can, with an expiration date, so where they have to train X amount of times in like 3 months or whatever. Uh, but yeah, hoping to grow this, hoping to get more people on that, and hoping to start my other YouTube channel, just like teaching kids drills to do on their own and stuff like that. Yeah, so this is first video. Honestly, not very professional. Not much planning went into this. Hopefully it ends up. I mean, I'm gonna look back at this video in a long time and be like, wow, that was freaking cool. He was just sending it. He had no idea what he was doing, because I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. But for any of you young guys out there, or anybody that's trying to start their own business, start their own training company, this is where I'm at, and this is how fast I'm gonna scale really fast, and I'm gonna turn into one of the most well-known soccer training companies in the world, and I know it. And I just want to let you know that I started from ground zero too. Like literally had zero clients, only made $780 my first month. We'll see where this goes. So yeah.